Back at the Orange Bowl in Miami after the Chargers took the 24-0 first quarter lead. The Miami Dolphins come back to score 17 points. Come right back in the ball game as we get set now for the start of the second half. John Brody, that might have been the play of the season. Certainly for Miami it was. The pass, subsequent lateral to Tony Nathan, and the touchdown that brought the Dolphins to within 7.
I'll tell you what's interesting about it is during halftime you walk up and you ask a coach, do you work on that play? And he says, oh yeah, we've got it in our playbook. Well, you know and I know they haven't worked on that play, if ever, since the first day of practice. But what they do is when you get to that position, it's only the great coaches and the really creative people that can come up with something like that. They came up with something depended on a bad play by the quarterback, got good commitment, turned a situation that didn't look too good for them into a touchdown, puts them right back in the ball game. And I'm curious to know how much the heat can affect San Diego down here. Now, I've been down here, and you know we've discussed it. The plug's been pulled on me. It is very humid tonight. The temperature doesn't really indicate how humid it is, Don, and I'll be interested to see.
Those uniforms indicate a little bit. They're really pouring water, these players.
Yes, sir.
Miami's used to it, if anybody can be used to it.
It's so hard when you've had a ball game in your hip pocket to have a team come back the way Miami has and at home and now get regenerated.
They practice in the humidity all season. Of course, Miami at home here in this humidity. San Diego from a warm climate, not the humidity. It's really rough on teams from the north that come down here late in the season. They really die in the second half.
It's not too good when they come up from the north early in the season either, or from the west coast or anywhere else.
Ralph Penerska set to kick off. Ralph was on the field all the time in the first quarter, kicking field goals, extra points, kicking off after the San Diego scores. And now it's turned, and here's a line drive to Vigorito. He's across the 20, out to the 26-yard line. You remember those Miami turnovers early in the first quarter that turned this game around. Cliff Thrift coming down to make the tackle. That ball tends to be elusive when it's humid like it is tonight in Miami, Florida. Slick on the ball, and they can lose it in a hurry. Now the Dolphins go on offense, moving into a pretty good breeze coming in off the nearby Atlantic. Don Strockett, quarterback, who relieved David Woodley and played superbly in the first half to get Miami back in the game. Andra Franklin, the rookie runner from Nebraska, takes it straight ahead in a first down carry. Gets it out to the 28-yard line where Louis Kelcher knocked him down along with Lyndon King. Don Coryell's seen many things in his many years of coaching. Not too sure that second quarter is what he's wanted to see. The first surely was. Marv Levy, the coach of Kansas City, talking about how innovative Don Coryell says of Coryell. He was in low-cut shoes while the rest of us coaches were still wearing high tops. Second and 8. Here's a throw and a diving attempt. Incomplete, and a penalty marker down on Pete Shaw. First down for the Dolphins.
Well, I don't know which way it's going to go, Don. I guess if you saw it that way, that's. I couldn't see the initial contact. It was thrown from quite a ways away.
He jumped on his back.
All right. Schrock's got plenty of time to throw. Got a one-on-one situation. Pete Shaw. Ed Hardy. It goes in the favor of the O's.
Defensive penalty against the San Diego Chargers, resulting in 5 yards and a first down for Miami.
Holding 54. First down.
Actually got Laslovic on a hold up close.
I wonder what Pete Shaw was doing up there. I didn't see him, but
he was covering. He was in on Hardy after Laslovic picked him up at the line of scrimmage and tried to hold him up.
I couldn't see him do anything. That's why I was surprised when I saw the call.
First down and 10 now, Miami. Timing pattern. Duriel Harris catches the ball at the 39-yard line of San Diego.
Oh, man.
You're not kidding.
Well, that's a play. I was very interested to see how Strock would come out in the second half. If he keep firing the way he ended up the first half, he picked it up in exactly the same fashion, throwing a perfect strike to Duriel Harris on the dead run. Great catch. Edwards had the play covered.
Glenn Edwards also put a shot right on his chops there, and Duriel Harris hung onto the ball. Big gainer on the play, 28 yards, and a Miami first down. Andra Franklin looks for the tough yards inside and gets down close to the 38-yard line. Might have gotten a yard, no more. Laslovic, 54, was on the tackle, along with Lyndon King.
You know, I would say in some cases a team that had a great defense would have a little bit more trouble rebounding after they have a 24-0 lead and they watch it dissipate. But in San Diego's case, it's happened before, okay? And Fouts and his offensive group have responded on most of those occasions.
Let's see what they do now on 2nd and 9. Miami Dolphins go to the pass to the 35-yard line, but still well short of a first down. Good defense by the Chargers. Woodrow Lowe and Lyndon King, the outside linebackers.
They're trying to get the halfbacks isolated on the linebackers. This time Woodrow Lowe and Eddie Hill. Lowe's got him fairly well covered. Not before he picks up 5.
The Dolphins, with a touchdown and an extra point here, would tie the game after they were behind 24-0 in the first quarter. 3rd down and 6 coming up. Three wide receivers sent to either side. Here's a throw. Man is open, and the ball is caught. Duriel Harris at the 16-yard line. Don Strockjohn has completed 12 in a row now.
Well, if there was any doubt as to whether Duriel Harris has recovered, you know he's been embarrassed for the last month, not being able to play after that spike in the end zone. This is the way to take care of all the problems. He's come back, having not played since that game, made 3 big plays in the last 2 minutes of play, 2 in this half and 1 to end the half, that have got them back in the ball game. That's a great reception. Pretty well thrown, but a great reception.
Duriel Harris spiked the ball in the end zone, hurt his knee doing it. That would be embarrassing. Now the Dolphins go right to the run, get it inside the 15-yard line. Driving the ball straight ahead was Tony Nathan. Don Strock, since he's come in with 12 completions in a row, has hit 16 of 20 for 209 yards and 2 touchdowns.
He's in the middle of his best game ever. There be no doubt about that. This is the best I've ever seen him play, and I'm sure it's the best he's ever played.
It's about as good as anybody's ever played.
Right.
Nathan can't hold on a 2nd and 8 play, so now a big 3rd down comes up for the Dolphins. Vigorito comes into the offensive backfield. Nat Moore comes in the game, and so does Joe Rose, the tight end who caught the touchdown pass.
They've got a lot of receivers with different abilities, eh? And right now they've got San Diego guessing.
With Strock at quarterback, the Dolphins have converted 4 of 5 previous 3rd downs for first downs. This is a tough one, 3rd down and 8. Joe Rose, touchdown Miami.
Unanswered points. San Diego's in a blitz. Strock reads it perfectly, comes to his tight end. Pete Shaw's trying to cover Rose. He has no play. When you give a quarterback a lane with no linebacker in between him and the intended receiver, with a strong safety trying to cover him, he's got no case with a man as big as Rose is. Perfectly thrown ball. He zips it in the end zone. He's a little slow getting up. It looks like a cramp.
Hopefully it's a cramp because they can work that out. He'd be back in there. We'll be back to the Orange Bowl right after this. Joe Rose is up and about, and he's all right. He surely is after going into the end zone for a second time with a touchdown reception from Don Strock, and the Dolphins now an extra point away from tying this game.
Did you see the look in Strock's eyes? I've never seen the bigger whites in my life. How sweet it is when you got it going this way, pal. Don't stop.
He liked what he saw. Joe Rose open for a second time in the end zone. The extra point is up and good, and we can all be witness to one of the great comebacks in the history of this league, certainly in the playoffs, as the Dolphins down 24-0 in the first quarter have come back to tie the game.
How about that job?
Some unusual number combinations, but it all adds up to 24 Miami, 24 San Diego.
I have mentioned on several occasions, and we have both, that San Diego probably has the most prolific, productive offense in the history of professional football. And right now, you're asking the best offensive football team that possibly ever played this game to get your group back in the game. If anyone can, I'd like to have Fouts and his group behind the controls.
Well, that's right. Fouts can make it happen in a big hurry, and he's going to be out to do that. Tomorrow, the NFL playoffs continue on NBC Sports with the second AFC Divisional game. Starting at 12:30 Eastern Time, host Bryant Gumbel reviews the playoffs on NFL 81. And then the Buffalo Bills, the wild card, the team that's been winning on the road, goes against the leading passer in the NFL, Kenny Anderson, and the Cincinnati Bengals at Riverfront Stadium, Cincinnati. Dick Enberg and Merlin Olsen are there. They will be tomorrow at 12:30 Eastern Time on NBC Sports. A high-spinning kickoff taken by an up-back. Doug Bedoin moves ahead and gets it out across the 35-yard line to the 37. So Air Coryell will go on offense in good position to start with their first possession of the second half. Ken Poole made the tackle.
And that's the first piece of action that Bedoin has really had for San Diego. You know, he was just activated today, and formerly he was with the Dolphins. A lot of times a coach will take a man just for that reason, but let's just take a look at the intensity that's being displayed by Miami. Bedoin makes a good jump over the first man, and back to the action.
Chuck Muncie and the Chargers are stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Go to the run. There's nothing there. No gain. Might have gotten a yard. Make it second down and 9. It's we're early in the third quarter. 10:20 to play in it. John Sandusky, one of the assistants, talking Don Strock. What a game he's had. Don Strock coming off the bench to relieve David Woodley.
He's just having a lot of fun.
Here is Dan Fouts throwing over the middle, and he's got Kellen Winslow in open field. And Winslow is down the far sideline and finally knocked out of bounds inside the 35-yard line. So the Chargers strike with the big play they need so badly.
Right, and we mentioned Mike Kozlowski will be man-to-man on Kellen Winslow through most of the day. On this particular occasion, he was not. He gets by the linebacker. Then Mike Kozlowski tries to pick him up after he eludes Blackwood. This man makes a lot of big plays for San Diego, and he mentions that 3-yarder that he made against Tampa Bay in a 24-23 Donnybrook as his biggest play of the season. Loves to be in the position. He's in it now.
John, you may vividly remember the best comeback prior to this in '57 when the Lions came back against the 49ers from 20 points down.
Yeah, I watched it.
Penalty markers down the Miami secondary.
He may get defensive holding called. You know, Fouts was looking at an intended receiver, saw him either held up or slipped.
Oh, it's going to go the other way.
Well, my.
Offensive pass interference. Right now, we pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC television network. The Chargers set back by the penalty against them. as referee Fred Wyan checked it out with the Miami field captain. 1st and 10 play originating at the Miami 31-yard line. Now the step off.
You know what you see very little of in this game? Players sitting on the bench.
Pass interference, number 80.
Boy, that is for sure. They're all up and along the sidelines. When they first showed up on the field after we were here at the Orange Bowl last night, they had a laugh because it looked like there was only a third of a football team out there. Clemson and Nebraska each dressing about 115 guys.
They had a league.
1st down and 20. San Diego. Game is tied. Beautiful breakup by Miami. Dwight Scales turning over the middle. Don McNeil in the Miami lineup. Broken arm and all. Knocked the ball down.
Hey, you don't have to catch it. He's a very good man-to-man cover. They feel he's probably the best cover on the Miami defense. He's asking in. He wants a part of this.
Bill Arnsparger said he worked very well during the week. He's a little doubtful as a tackler, but he can, as you mentioned, John, is the best cover they had, and he can run around and knock things down back there as an extra DB. 9:38 to go, 3rd quarter. 2nd down and 20. Penalty marker at the line of scrimmage. They were looking at Chuck Muncie.
He's thrown very quick.
Fouts trying to go to Chuck Muncie. Here's the call again as the marker was down at the line of scrimmage. It is against San Diego. So the Chargers are firing, but they're falling back with the penalties.
I think that look tells it all right there. He's a bit dejected.
And with reason.
3rd down.
They came out of the block so fast. You often hear coaches talk about getting a big lead real early sometimes takes away initiative from a team. They think they have it won.
I don't think that was the case in San Diego's situation. They kept throwing the ball. They kept trying to move it offensively. But they've gone from the penthouse to a hornet's nest.
Fouts has a problem, gets it away. Kellen Winslow has the ball, and look at that tackle. Ernest Roan, number 55. The only guy in the league from Henderson State in Arkansas.
He's getting a lot better pressure on him right now. Bo Camper coming from the outside, forces Dan to step up. Now he's got no way to go long. Makes a decision to go to Winslow underneath, not the intended receiver. Good play by the D's. Just a simple little check delay. He's his safety valve. If nothing else is open, he'll come to him. That's the way the defense played it.
Ernest Roan puts his shoulder on the pads, and down goes Kellen Winslow, and San Diego has to punt. 8:43 to play, 3rd quarter. The game is tied, 24 all. That'd be a delay of game. It is.
That's all right. They were just trying to get him to jump. If they happen to jump, fine. They pick up 5. They don't. Doesn't matter on the punt.
Yeah, if they picked up that 5, they'd gone to the field goal probably.
Well, I was looking at that, and with the wind, remember we saw Bernishka kick one about, as a matter of fact, it was quite a bit longer than that,
yeah,
and almost make it.
But at this point, the Chargers have come a cropper. There's the defensive coordinator, Jack Pardee, who was twice NFL Coach of the Year, head coach of the Bears, then at Washington. The defensive system hasn't taken hold just yet. It's starting to late in the season.
That's right, it was. And they were playing good defense.
George Roberts, the ex-Dolphin, out there to punt. Hits the ball very high into the lights. Vigorito watches it sail out of the end zone for a touchback. And the Dolphins, who were down 24-0 and have proceeded to score 24 points to tie the game. San Diego opened up a 24-0 lead in the 1st quarter in this game. But the Miami Dolphins, resilient, have come back to tie it. Now they go 1st and 10. Nathan cracks the San Diego defense for a 6 or 7 yard gain.
And you almost get the feeling that Shula's now in a position where he can do what he wanted to be able to do at the outset of the ball game. He's sitting there. The score is 0-0 for all intents and purposes. He's got San Diego a little concerned. When you get a team concerned, you can do an awful lot of things that you couldn't do prior. He would love to run the ball from sideline to sideline, see if he can't wear down this San Diego defense. There's another part to that. Strock's been so hot, you stop what you've been doing.
I think you keep him throwing, keep that right arm cranking, because Strock is having a great game. Let's see if there was motion in the Miami line that brought that. As Andre Franklin runs on 2nd down and 3. Markers down, stopping the clock with 7:44 to go. We mentioned tomorrow it is Buffalo at Cincinnati in the other AFC Divisional Playoff game. Pre-game show NFL 81 at 12:30 here on NBC. The winner of that game, if it's Cincinnati, would be on the home field against either of these teams, whichever team wins here today. If Buffalo should win at Cincinnati, then the Bills would be on the road against the winner of today's game. Wild card can't have a home game in the playoffs.
Offense was not set for a second.
You heard it. That's one of the few times in the last quarter and a half that Miami has made a mistake of any kind. This game turned exactly when Don Strock walked on the field.
Really did. Miami now has 245 yards passing, just 26 rushing, but they haven't bothered to run the ball. They had to throw it to get back in the game, and get back in it they did. Here comes Nathan. Cody Nathan on 2nd down and 8 takes it out to the 28-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd down and short yardage. Woodrow Lowe, 51 on the stop for the Chargers.
All right, you say, well, how can they run the ball effectively now? They couldn't do it earlier in the ball game. They've thrown it so well that you get the linebackers off the line of scrimmage playing it very loose. When you play it a little loose, you're in a position of not containing the wide sweep. They're taking one guard, pulling him, getting good movement off the ball, and it's nothing but a piece of cake for a back to pick up 7 or 8 yards.
And another big factor, John, as we discussed earlier, is the way that Miami maintained its equilibrium and got back into the game gradually. Didn't try to go wild and get it all on 80-yard throws. And is open, but Nat Moore cannot quite get to the ball. He'd left cornerback Mike Williams 2 steps behind on the fly pattern.
Mike made a very good recovery because it looked as if Nat Moore was going to come wide open. He picked up a couple of yards on him, made Strock try to make a great throw rather than an easy one. I think it was worth the gamble. Here we go. Nat Moore, you can see he gets by at the line of scrimmage. Looks like he's going to the corner, but you can see he's not running at full speed because he isn't as well as he'd like to be. As a result, Mike Williams comes by and makes a fine play.
And Strock, as he illustrates there, surely has the long distance arm, but now Miami has to punt. The Chargers could get good field position. A well hit ball though by Orris. Here's James Brooks to the 39-yard line. Don Criqui with John Brody back at the Orange Bowl in Miami. Some most unlikely turns to this game. It's all locked up 24 all right now. Chargers 1st and 10, and there's Fouts setting up quickly, going over the middle, and there is another reception by Kellen Winslow.
Don, that man has such a pair of hands that in a crowd, a guy that can take a ball that's coming that fast and not have to let it go to his shoulder pads, but can put his hands right up, snatch it out of the air. Take a look. This is the offensive line. They know it's their job to do. Masick, White, Wilkerson, Washington. They've got to do it right now.
And they got some buildings in that offensive line of San Diego. Washington at 290, Shields at 280, White at 280. Here's a throw, and John Cappelletti cannot hold onto the ball coming out of the backfield on a 1st down play.
That was such a good play by Fouts. Wanted to go down the field, convinced everybody in the house, including me, then just kind of came off with a little shuffle job over to Cappelletti. Eddie caught it. He was on the dead run in the clear. Pretty good offensive pass protection, giving Dan a chance to let the linebackers clear out, coming underneath to Cappelletti. All for naught.
Denherner put the big rush on there, John.
Let's take a look. You know, offensively, these guys who have been the core of their football team have to do a job. That's Bob Baumhauer, a Pro Bowler, Ed White, a veteran of 13 years. This is what it's about.
Great play, but the ball is lost. Muncie coming out of the backfield. Had it right on his numbers, but it caromed off his pads and almost was intercepted by Miami.
They're coming to the backs underneath because the linebackers are taking very deep drops, trying to help out on the 3 wide receivers. He takes advantage of it by coming to Muncie. He doesn't drop many balls, but he dropped a big one at a critical time. Not too many times do you get a critical drop with 5:52 in the 3rd quarter, but you get the feeling they've got to do something.
Well, they'll be trying now with a throw on third down and 10 for San Diego at the Miami 48-yard line. Wes Chandler is wide left. There's a catch, and there's a first down for San Diego. Dwight Scales, in his 5th year from Grambling, turns in, catches the ball 17 yards downfield for a Charger first down.
Miami trying to make a big play. Attempts to put the pressure on Fouts. It's a blitz all the way. You see no linebackers in the intermediate zone. A cornerback is really at the mercy of a wide receiver. And when Chandler catches the ball, defensive back is falling down. Offensive line picked up the people.
17-yard gain and a first down. They say you've got to try to knock those Chargers off their patterns and throw the rhythm up. They haven't been doing it on this drive now as Fouts has his team 1st and 10. A quick out goes to Wes Chandler. And Chandler looking to break the crust and take it the distance. Takes it down to the 25-yard line.
You notice that Dan has gone to all of his receivers about equal amounts. However, not on any given day. He'll go with the guy that's hot. You find, and generally it's because of a defensive coverage that allows that. But in this case, a short job to Wes Chandler. You're giving a guy that can do as much as he can do with the ball a chance to make a big play for you and keep your drive alive.
After John Jefferson left the Chargers in the contract impasse, Wes Chandler came in from New Orleans. He was expensive, a 1st round and a 3rd round draft choice, but it put that whole passing game of San Diego's back together again. Fouts pump fakes, throws, touchdown, Kellen Winslow. And the Chargers take back the lead 30-24.
Tell you, Winslow almost pulled a Duriel Harris. I don't think he saw it. He was very excited. He ran right into the goalpost, almost knocked himself out.
That goalpost will knock you out.
What a beautiful move. Look at the pump by Fouts. Waits for Winslow to cut underneath in the zone coverage, puts it right where it has to be thrown. Winslow comes up with another big play. As he dunks it, he came down on the goalpost. See, that's beautiful pattern.
Boy, it was. His 9th catch of the day for 25 yards and a touchdown. Kellen Winslow at 9 receptions for 117 yards. Extra point is up and good. And the San Diego Chargers, whose offense has been quiet for a while, strike. The Chargers go 60 yards in 6 plays, the final 25 in this throw.
Real good pass protection. Winslow beats the zone. When you run patterns the way he does, move the way he does, you're going to make a lot of touchdowns, but don't do that once you get in there. Someday they're going to learn their lesson.
He almost did, John. He came down that, pulled that right leg a little bit. He's all right. Vigorito on a good kickoff. Good coverage by Bob Greger.
All right. Should be able to see it again one more time. Good pump by Fouts. Opens the zone a little. Throw it at the right time. You'll find a hole. He does. What did Paul Brown tell Bob Trumpy? When you go in the end zone, act like you've been there before. He's been there so much, he probably got bored, had to make it a little more exciting.
That was the Trumpers' first touchdown in the preseason game. He was quite excited, threw his helmet in the air. Coach Brown says, Trumpy, if you score another one in this league, act like you've been there. He got there again for him, though. And now we see a dump-off pass going to Tony Nathan. First down, he's across the 20-yard line out to the 24. And there's a penalty marker down. This has been some game, and we've got a long way to go. Here's a swing pass, goes out to Tony Nathan, turns up the middle, crosses the 15, and Tony Nathan gets back to about the 18-yard line in a 1st and 15 play. Laslovic got him. The pursuit by San Diego's defense excellent to stop a big gainer.
Well, early in the ball game, we saw the San Diego defensive linemen having the best of everything. Right now, they're in a run-pass situation. They can't get in their starting blocks. We saw Big Hands Johnson make good pursuit, miss the tackle, but they're still very active, and that was a concern.
Don Strock and the offensive Miami now faced with 2nd down and 9 as the Chargers bring their linebackers up tight. Swing pass again to Nathan. And again, whoops, he gets away. Tony Nathan's now down, he gets out across the 25, out to the 26. He's less than a yard from a first down when it seemed he would be knocked down just beyond the line of scrimmage.
Yes, sir. It looked like it might have been a face mask, but I guess he got a straight shot right in the mouth. He missed the whole thing. Boy, this is some kind of play.
He's caught 6 now for 59 yards. Under Don Shula, when the Orange Bowl's been sold out during his reign as coach of the Dolphins. The Dolphins have won 20 and lost 2. Right now, they're down by a touchdown and an extra point, 31-24. 3rd and inches.
Oh.
Looks like the sticks are coming out again.
I don't think they're coming out. They didn't get back to the line of scrimmage, Don. Great penetration interior-wise by Kelcher. Yes, sir. And big hands. They were down low. They beat the guards at the point of attack.
Woodrow Lowe, the sticker from Alabama, came up on the outside.
But Louis Kelcher created the whole deal.
So if they get it, it's going to be by the nose of the football.
If they get it, they gave him a good spot.
They didn't get it.
That's what you call no game.
They got it.
What?
They got it. The yard markers move on, and the Dolphins get 4 new downs. Those numbers.
Huh.
Not a balanced offense.
You'd expect that from San Diego. Of course, you wouldn't expect Miami to be down 24-zip either.
I don't know if anyone expected this many points in a playoff game. Good defense. There's a swing out and it's flat. Whoa. 2 chargers ran into each other. Mike Williams and Pete Shaw collided.
Well, Pete Shaw never saw the ball. His back was turned the whole way. And Mike Williams never saw Pete Shaw. Had Pete not been in the way, Mike picked it off and run in. Look at this. The only guy that didn't have a chance for the ball was Cephalo. The other 2 had perfect shots at it.
We had a collision, so it goes incomplete. 2nd down and 10 comes up. 2:20 to go in the 3rd quarter. 31-24 San Diego. Strock throws, and the ball is caught by Jimmy Cephalo at the 50-yard line. 1st down, Miami.
They haven't tried Willie Buchanan very often today, and you'll see why. Because that ball had to be perfectly thrown, or Buchanan may have picked it off. He beat a double zone coverage. Buchanan's the up man. Shaw coming over. When you throw it that well into a double zone, there's no chance. Oops, he cuts right underneath him. It's the only way he could go. When he cut underneath, the ball was actually already thrown.
And it was thrown right where it had to be as Cephalo looks back, and there it is. 23-yard gain. Here's a man open. Bruce Hardy to the 10. Touchdown, Miami. He's in the end zone. This is unbelievable.
Never seen so many beautifully run patterns and throws. All right, in a championship ball game. I mean, it's pretty obvious to say there's 61 points already in this Hummer. But it's not because of defensive insufficiency. It's because of offensive execution. Strock is having as fine a day as I've ever seen any quarterback have in a championship game. And I mean, he hits Hardy on the dead run. Woodrow Lowe had no chance. 50 yards, touchdown, 31-30.
Strock, the official numbers. John, 21 of 27 for 312 yards and 4 touchdowns.
That last stat's impressive.
50 yards to tight end Bruce Hardy. Von Schaman is through the uprights with his extra point, and we are all tied up at 31-all with 1:28 to go in the 3rd quarter. Who's to say where this one goes? We might be going for a bonus. Go for 100 points.
Guy that gets the ball last, big fella.
Last at bat. We'll be back to the Orange Bowl after this. Don Strock with numbers good for a Hall of Fame day. He came to Miami in '73 out of Virginia Tech as a 5th-round draft choice. Has been a backup quarterback his whole time here. There's the man he hit, Bruce Hardy, the tight end. Backed up Greasy. Backs up Whitley, but he's getting a lot more playing time as a relief pitcher, and today he's had his greatest game, and we're tied at 31. James Brooks turns outside. And a fine special team play. Ronnie Lee, a tight end covering on special teams, and the Chargers start off in their own end, the 17-yard line.
So here we go again.
Amazing. 62 points on the board already, and they're even up, 31 all. Bounce takes a look. He throws. He's got Kellen Winslow. And one of his rare drops, Kellen Winslow, who's caught 9 today for over 100 yards. Can't hold on.
You see number 40 still trailing him. What they've done is assign Mike Kozlowski to Kellen Winslow all day long, but it doesn't change the rest of the coverage. They're trying to stop him. They're doing everything they can to contain him. It's just the play of a great tight end, number 80. It's made it almost impossible.
Well, as the Miami defensive coordinator and assistant head coach Bill Arnsparger said before the game, you don't stop San Diego. You hope you can slow them down so they don't win the game. They're going to get yards and they're going to get points. They have today. Bounce takes a look on 2nd and 10, gets it away. Don McNeil, broken arm and all, is right there covering and bats the ball away. He fractured his right arm against Kansas City in the second last game of the season. Didn't play against Buffalo in the finale.
It's a good thing for Dan that his arm was broken, because he threw that ball away in desperation, not wanting to take a great big loss. And a McNeil with 2 good arms might have brought that one down for an interception.
I think he would. It's pretty tough to catch it when you're with those arms bundled up like a lineman's. But he can still cover and he can still knock him down. Third and 10.
Too high.
Intercepted. Blackwood has the ball. Lyle Blackwood. Another lateral. Gerald Small takes the lateral and goes inside the 15-yard line. This incredible game.
We're taking a look at the zone defense. Now they've got pretty good penetration. They're rushing 5 people, but they're still playing a 3-deep zone down there. He was intending to go to Joyner. Had no play. Actually, Joyner was very well covered. Blackwood makes a great play intercepting, then laterals to Small. He makes a fine reception or return, and they're down to the 15. That ball got away from Dan. One of the few that has gotten away from him all day, but a big turnover.
Well, as you were pointing out, John, his previous throw was an errant one, almost intercepted, and this one was right to the Miami defense. Now the Dolphins go to the run. That's Lyle Blackwood. He's moved around the league a little bit. Was at Baltimore for most of his career. Spent some time with the New York Giants. Came in here as a free agent. Won the starting safety job right alongside his brother Glenn. And he was in perfect position, as those Miami defenders so often are. There are the numbers for the 2 QBs.
That would be all right for 2 games, but 3 quarters, it's rather outstanding.
Most impressive, as much as the touchdowns, that Strock has put the ball up that often in desperation when they had to come back, and he's not been intercepted. The third quarter is winding down and winding out. So after 3 quarters of play, the game is tied 31-31, but when we come back, the Dolphins will be challenging to go ahead. Miami Dolphins were losing badly on the scoreboard, but they never lost their composure, John, and now they're set to go ahead.
The first opportunity they've had, their defense set it up, but
Miami can take it in here or get the field goal. They'll be in front for the first time. Tony Nathan behind Ed Newman. Touchdown, Miami!
you've ever seen a play that was beautifully run, Ed Newman leading Tony Nathan. Gets his block on Shaw. Nathan does the rest. Right into the end zone. I don't know if Miami's worn San Diego down or the situation has fatigued them, but they do look an awful lot more tired than they did even early in the third quarter.
Good point. That has been historically the pattern here at Miami when it's humid. The Dolphins roll in the fourth quarter. Nathan 12 yards into the end zone, and for the first time in this game, the Miami Dolphins lead it 38-31 after they were behind in the first quarter. If you joined us late, 24-0.
Well, Don, you see Nathan. He's just resting, trying to get ready to go back out and play a little more. And it is very humid here. We mentioned the weather's about 70 degrees. I think it's had a toll on San Diego's defense. I noticed that Wilbur Young is in the ball game for the first time today, replacing one of the defensive linemen. You see him, big number 99, being run past the play as Nathan scores. This is the time when, if you are a great offense, and we've said it several times, San Diego undoubtedly is, they've got to get their team rallied again.
Well, we know what the Charger offense has done already today, put up 31 points. That's still not enough, but they can come back with a lot of time left. We have virtually the whole fourth quarter to be played. 14:53 remaining in the game. Tony Nathan, another of the Alabama players. The field is full of them today. Woodrow Lowe of San Diego and Don McNeil, and there's more AFC Divisional Playoff action coming up tomorrow here on NBC. The Buffalo Bills go to Cincinnati to take on the Bengals, who compiled the AFC's best record this season after a losing season just a year ago. They made that kind of a comeback. Von Schaman will not allow a run back with that kickoff. It's into and out of the end zone.
Don, I generally say, now their backs are against it because the wind is also against them. But it's funny, most of the points have been scored going the other way, into the wind. So I guess it's had no effect on the throwers all day long. About 550 yards between them. I'd say they've been throwing pretty well into it.
Wesley Chandler comes wide to the right. Let's see what that wind is really picking up now. Flag is straight out. Muncie, they're going for the football out of the Dolphins. Muncie's had a great season. He had one what they thought was a fatal fumble against Buffalo late in the game. But then the Chargers came back to win the regular season finale, beating Oakland 23-10. Got a lot of help from the Chicago Bears, who I think, John, could call themselves champions of the AFC West. They're 4-0 in that division this season.
Yep.
Unfortunately for the Bears, they couldn't beat anybody else. Second and 8. Good throw, and it's to Kellen Winslow. Who else? He's out to the 29-yard line.
And I see a late flag come in.
Yeah.
And it's around the ball carrier. I look for the ball to go back up the field. That's a break. That's a break for San Diego. Dan's got Winslow out in motion. Comes back underneath the wide receiver cleaning out. You see Kozlowski trailing again, as he has been all afternoon, but he's been trailing close.
Statistician Steve Dans points out that Kellen Winslow, John, has now tied John Stallworth for the most catches in an AFC playoff game.
Number 58.
10.
First down.
Another factor to contend with is the crowd. This is a loud crowd. Now that they've got a 7-point lead, it has increased its velocity about 50%, and it just makes it that much more difficult for Fouts to call out to his wide receiver.
First and 10. Fouts throws. Oh.
Yep.
Here's another penalty marker. Folks on the Chargers sideline aren't happy about things at all. Chandler was whacked on the play.
Well, Glenn Blackwood is coming in. They're playing a double zone. Fouts is trying to beat it the way Strock did earlier. The ball is tipped. When it is, Blackwood is not playing the ball. He's playing the man. He thought he'd probably catch the ball. He wanted to see if he could jar him loose. At that time, you can't be looking around for the ball. You know you're behind. You're trying to catch up. It was a penalty, but it wasn't an intentional late hit.
But it is a 15-yard mark-off. Personal foul.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 47. First down.
Crazy numbers at the Orange Bowl. Wild numbers. Great game. Long way to go. 13:49 to play. Muncie running hard. And he's on the Miami side of the field now as he takes it all the way down to the 39-yard line. Chuck Muncie getting up ahead of steam and starting to roll. They say he's been a standout citizen in San Diego.
We mentioned the key people are the offensive linemen for San Diego. If they can move the defense of Miami off the line of scrimmage, which they've done on several occasions to give Muncie some running room, real good offensive line blocking. Muncie picks up another first.
Muncie gets the first indeed. They said they traded him, John, at New Orleans because he was forgetful. He forgot to come to practice.
He doesn't forget which way he's going.
He heading due east. There's a little dump off back to Muncie. And a good defensive play. Ernest Roan tackles him behind the line of scrimmage at the 42-yard line of Miami.
This play was doomed from the start. It's a blitz. Fouts is trying to come to Muncie late. He expected his own coverage. When it's a blitz, the linebacker has man-to-man coverage on Muncie. Makes a good play, gets by Don Masek, the center, who was trying to block on the screen. Holds it to a 1 or 2 yard loss. Here we go. We mentioned the blitz. A.J. Dewey, number 77, usually tips it off. He's coming along with 4 other down linemen.
Second and long, deeper drop. Chandler turns in. Kellen Winslow's taking a beating going out in his patterns now. They've got to try to slow the big guy up.
I don't know who was picking who that time.
They do run a lot of picks, too, like a basketball
Well, you
team.
see Joyner. Now Winslow's going down the field. He's getting a lot of attention right now. You see number 40 with him again. I can't tell whether he was going to Winslow or Joyner.
Well, it ended up not near either.
Right.
So now it's going to be 3rd down and 13 for San Diego. 42-yard line of Miami. The Dolphins having rallied back from a 24-0 deficit in the first quarter, and they now lead the game 38-31. Charlie Joyner lost it, and Miami was so close to an interception. Charlie felt he should have had it. The hands he's got, he doesn't drop many.
No, and he doesn't drop many like that. The ball was a little high thrown. Big play.
My goodness. Fantastic.
George Rogers, this is if you're going to help your team as a punter, or Roberts, kick it out of bounds inside the 10.
I'm sure he'd like to do that. Let's see, he's giving it a good shot. Oh, it just walks in. It almost got out inside the 5. He'd love to do it here in Miami. We are back at the Orange Bowl in Miami. Don Criqui with John Brody on a warm January night. The Dolphins and the Chargers putting on an offensive display that has been most amazing as Miami leads the game 38-31 and has the ball 1st and 10 at their 20. Andra Franklin gets it out to maybe the 22. Dolphins would like to be able to move the chain markers and run the clock now.
There's a good defense against which fools the offense. They expected a zone defense, and San Diego has played zone most of this whole ball game. That time they were in a blitz defense. You can't run an end sweep against a blitz. They shut it down, put them in a passing situation. 2nd and 8. I guess we're all not on top of everything.
Kind of interesting. A montage of what's going on.
Yes, sir.
Not like this ball game, though. Here is the handoff to Nathan, and he weaves his way, and the San Diego defenders are there to knock him down again for virtually no gain for Miami as San Diego fighting to get back the ball.
San Diego knows its backs are up against the wall. Their defensive line has got to do the play right now. Laszlavic overruns it a little bit, but gets Nathan stopped. When he does, Johnson picks it up.
And now the Dolphins come to 3rd down and 7. Strock's been very, very effective on 3rd downs, completing 6 of 8 for 1st downs. He's thrown for 2 touchdowns on 3rd down.
You can bet it's going up top now. Didn't get it.
No, he did not. Fine play by Pete Shaw, the Chargers. Strong safety delivers the hit.
Depends which foot he puts it on.
Holy man, I think he might have it where they have the ball.
Well, take a quick look. Now, they're going to give him as much forward progress as he made. His foot actually came down on the other side of the line. It looks like an accurate call to me. I mean, wherever it's spotted, it's within a foot of a 1st down if it's not.
He had to get it to the 30.
Well, if he's touching the 30,
it's going to be the nose of the
and
ball
he doesn't
again.
get a 1st down.
Got another one. They get the 1st down. Look at that.
Unless the markers are off, he had to get it once he touched the 30. Another well-thrown ball by Don.
It was. It has been a game full of well-thrown balls by Strock. Clock running, 10:15 to play. Dolphins get 4 new downs and send Cephalo wide to the left and Duriel Harris on the right flank. Quick out to Harris, and he's across the 35 to the 36. Dolphins get 6 yards in that 1st down play. Lyndon King and Willie Buchanan are on the tackle.
They gave him that blitz again, Don. When they did so, this is a perfect play to call against it. Cornerback has to back off. When he does, it's a one-on-one situation. The pursuit's going to be a little bit late. 2nd and 4, they like it. How's that one?
Astounding. Off the bench to do it. Tony Nathan runs hard and runs for a Miami 1st down as the game clock winds down to 9:12 to play, and the Dolphins keep the ball moving and the chain markers too. Lowe and Shaw on the stop. Tony Nathan playing with a knee injury that's kept him out in recent games.
The offensive line is just having a ball right now. Give us a chance. John Geisler leads, makes a good block. Nathan doesn't need much of a crack.
He's made some big plays. You'll recall his earlier run in this quarter, 12 yards into the end zone for the go-ahead touchdown, Miami's 1st lead of the day. On 1st down, right back to the run, right up the middle. Andre Franklin, the 228-pound fullback from Nebraska.
I would think that this man would probably have to consider, what do we have to do? Okay, 24-0 lead. They come back and tie it. You take them down in another drive, put it out at 31-24, and now you're 7 back.
Yep. One thing about Andre Franklin, Jim, when he's in there, you know he's going to run it or block. He doesn't catch it. He's got 3 receptions for the year. But he did set a Miami rookie rushing record with over 700 yards. Eddie Hill comes in, and the swing pass is a little out of his reach. That ball was floating perilously on the right flank there.
Well, it was a safe ball. You know, people say, hey, when you throw in those flats, it's always very dangerous. That was a play where he had nothing but room to throw the ball in. He led Hill very quick. He caught him on the dead run. He picked up 4 or 5 yards, but there was no danger.
3rd and 8. Yeah, they've had the ball for 4 minutes now. They took over with 11:58 to go. They want to sustain this type of thing. Keep the ball away from San Diego.
Rose had come in, but they took him out. They put Hardy in now, and Cephalo and Hardy are split to the far side. Harris to the near side. Vigorito and Nathan are the backs. The Dolphins 43, 3rd down and a long 8. Strock, long count, drops straight back to throw. Fires across the middle, caught by Hardy. He's at the 50, down to the 49-yard line. He should have a 1st down. Bruce Hardy has got a big touchdown pass of 50 yards. We may get a measurement here. All depends on where they mark it. Lyndon King, the left side linebacker, made the tackle on the play. And it looks from where they're going to mark it as if it is already a 1st down, but no. Referee Fred Wyatt says, let's measure.
These measurements are usually fun.
Well, we've had 2 out of 2. And hopefully it will go to 3 out of 3. So they'll bring the chains in from the far side. All depends on where they mark the football. WIOD, and of course, we'll be bringing you the South Florida fans, all the playoff games of the Dolphins. This is the first down by the length of the football. I also want to say this, that due to NFL regulations on championship games and the Super Bowl, we are prohibited from broadcasting future Dolphin playoff games to our network stations. We deeply regret this ramification. Our thanks to all of our network affiliates this year. It has been our pleasure to serve you. We sincerely hope that you have enjoyed our broadcast of Miami Dolphin football. We'll look forward to serving you again throughout the 1982 season. On WIOD, if the Dolphins go all the way, all the games on WIOD in Miami. From the 49, first down, Nathan over the right side and beginning to do a little searching in the San Diego defense, but he holds onto the ball and gets only to about the 47. A 2-yard pickup. Lyndon King again, that left side linebacker on the stop.
Miami can keep the clock going. They don't really need a touchdown here. A field goal will put them in great shape if they can just maintain possession long enough.
Ball at the 47, second down and 8, 6 minutes, 45 seconds, and moving is the clock. Dolphins lead 38-31. Moore comes to the near side, Harris to the far side. Backs are split in behind Strock from the San Diego 47-yard line. Here is Strock, quick drop, fires it out. It is caught by Hardy, 45, 40, out of bounds up the 41-yard line. Another second, 36-yard line, another first down for the Dolphins. Pete Shaw, the strong safety. When they've had to go for the big plays tonight, in addition to Duriel Harris, they have gone to the tight ends. First down to Bruce Hardy, 12-yard pickup down to the 36-yard line of San Diego. So Hill comes out and Franklin is back in. Strock now has thrown for 354 yards, 26 out of 33. And I don't think there is any doubt, at least in my mind, who the offensive player of this game is going to be.
He wears a tall.
Harris goes to the far side. And Moore is the other receiver. Baxton and I, first down, Chargers 36-yard line. Here's the pitch to Nathan. Sweep outside of the right, gets a block from Newman, and he's dragged down from behind. A super defensive play over there on the far side of the field by Leroy Jones, the big defensive left end. They wind up losing a yard. Jones got in behind Newman and made the play. Newman blocked his man, but nobody blocked Jones. So it's a loss of a yard, second down and 11. Clock is moving with 6 minutes to go.
And it's been 6 minutes since the Dolphins took over. Very important factor here.
They're beginning to get closer to Von Sherman's field goal range. They need to work this ball in about, to be safe and accurate, another 12 yards, maybe even further than that. Receivers spread to either side. Backs are split. Second 11 from the 37. Strock drops to throw. He fires the out pattern again to Hardy. 30 down the sidelines, 25, and he's out of bounds. At the 24, another first down for the Dolphins. Hardy just curling the last 2 times to the near side of the field. This time he picks up 13 yards. Woodrow Lowe, the right side linebacker, runs him out. And the Dolphins are trying to put this one away. And a marvelous ball control drive with Strock threading the needle. I would say that this has to be one of the greatest performances in Dolphin history.
What were you thinking when the Dolphins were behind 24-zip? Did you think they had a shot to do this?
I can't repeat what I was thinking. 24-yard line. First and 10. 5:34 to go. Backs are split, so are the receivers. Strock hands off to Nathan. Sweep outside of the right. Eludes Jones. 25. Cuts it back. Gets to the 21. He was bumped hard by Laslovic, the middle linebacker. Leroy Jones again submarining from his left defensive end. This time Nathan just ran right around him. So they pick up 3, second down and 7 at the Chargers' 21-yard line. And this drive, how long have we had this football, Hank?
It took over at 11:58. We're coming down now to the 4:58 mark, which would make it 7 minutes.
5 minutes left to go in the ball game. This is precisely what Miami needed. Ball control, a touchdown lead. It's unbelievable. I hate to keep being redundant. 24 points down in the first quarter. In the 21-yard line, second down and 7. Here's Strock. Quick trap. And fumble running down at the 17-yard line. San Diego's got it. Chargers come up with a football. Pete Shaw comes up with it. One running play too many. We got a timeout down on the field as Strock handed the football off. And with the ball, Adra Franklin pops it up. So San Diego will get a shot. Gary Johnson came up with a recovery. We'll be back with more Miami Dolphins football action in 30 seconds. Big Hans Johnson stripped the ball, and Pete Shaw came up with a fumble recovery. Franklin, as we had remarked just a couple of plays earlier, San Diego had begun tactics of searching the ball carriers for the football. And that's about the only way the Dolphins could not have scored, is a turnover. So San Diego has the ball at their 18-yard line. 3 timeouts left, 4:39 to go. And the Dolphins lead of 38-31 are one of the most dangerous quarterbacks in the league at the helm, and Dan Fouts.
And they were so close to wrapping it up. The irony of it, they had thrown the ball successfully, and you run a play that's a high percentage play where you don't figure to turn it over. And as you said, they were searching before, and then they cough it up where they had a chance to go ahead by 10, and they'd have been in great shape.
Henry?
And this is where those fans down in that closed end really make a difference.
All right, Fouts brings his ball club out. He's going to utilize Winslow as a slot down to the right side. Winslow and Severs, tight end. Winslow in motion. Back to the far side. Muncie the only back. Fouts flips and falls down. Nobody on him. He gets up to the 10, throws the ball. Wide open is Joyner at the 26. Gets to the 30 and is knocked down at the 32-yard line. The Dolphins got such poor penetration that time. The slot slipped and saw it coming out of the pocket, and nobody even laid a hand on him. He got up and completed a 14-yard pass for a first down to Joyner out of the 32-yard line. A tackle made by Gerald Small. So the Dolphin defense now has their work cut out for them as the offense, after a superb drive, chewed up 7.5 or 8 minutes, and Franklin pops the football up.
Real good job by the offensive line of the Chargers there, too.
Muncie and Capoletti, the backs from the Chargers 32. Fouts the quick out. The Chandler 35 gets outside and out of bounds about the 37, 38-yard line. We'll pause for station identification. This is the Miami Dolphins Football Network.
WIOD, Miami. Every day before or after the game, more and more Dolphin fans enjoy breakfast, lunch, or dinner at their conveniently located International House of Pancakes restaurant. Visit one today.
Second down and 4. San Diego from the 38-yard line. Clock is stopped with 3:53 to go in the ball game. Dolphins lead 38-31. Muncie and Capoletti are the backs. Chandler spreads far side. Joyner to the near side. Fouts from his 38-yard line. Fouts will hand off to Muncie. Outside to the left, cuts it back to the right. He is spun to the turf and stopped at the 40-yard line. Ball comes scooting out of there, but the play has already been blown dead. He's about 2 yards shy of a first down. Baumhauer and better is where he popped him.
Dolphins show good anticipation on that play. They were overstacked to the right side, and I was a little surprised that Muncie ran that way because they lined up overstacked, and Fouts had to see that.
Third down and 2. Ball at the San Diego 40. San Diego is 6 out of 12 in third down conversions. Muncie and Capoletti are the backs. 2 tight ends, Winslow and Severs. Big third down play. Clock moving with 3:10 to go. Dolphins lead 38-31. Ball at the Chargers 40. Fouts, split backs. Receivers spread to the far side. Here is Fouts. Quick drop. Excellent protection. Fires the ball. It is caught. And it is a first down at the 45-yard line. Caught by Charlie Joyner. He was hit immediately by Lyle Blackwood. But it's a first down. So Fouts, excellent protection, keeps the drive alive. First down, San Diego. Dolphins had driven the ball down to the San Diego 18-yard line. Franklin was searched by Big Hands Johnson. And Shaw came up with the fumble recovery. And the Dolphins now have the pressure on the defense. First down, San Diego at their 45. 2 minutes, 30 seconds to go. Coming up with a 2-minute warning. 3 timeouts left. 3 wide receivers in the ball game. Muncie the only back behind Fouts. Here is Fouts on the drop. Has protection. He fires. It is caught by Joyner right over the outstretched hands of Gerald Small, and he's down in the Dolphins territory, knocked out of bounds by the free safety Blackwood at about the 40-yard line. 15-yard pickup. So the experience of Charlie Joyner working the sidelines comes into evidence. Dwight Scales comes in as a wide receiver. First down at the Dolphins 40, a pickup of 15. Don McNeil comes in as a defensive back. 2:14 showing on the board. Clock will not start till the ball is snapped.
Joyner started to come in motion to the near side, and then he reversed himself and went back out, and that caused a little confusion in the Dolphins secondary.
Muncie and Capoletti are the running backs. Chandler wide to the near side. Joyner far side. Winslow strong side, tight end right. From the Dolphins 40, first down. Here is Fouts, hand off to Muncie. Muncie over the left side gets 5 at the 35-yard line before he's tackled by A.J. Dewey. Gain of 5. It'll bring up 2nd and 5, and Larry Gordon will come in on the defense for the Dolphins. We will come up to the 2-minute warning. The score, Dolphins 38, Chargers 31, but San Diego is moving with a 2nd and 5 at the Miami 35-yard line. We'll be back in a moment. This is the Miami Dolphins Football Network. Well, you've got to be very careful in this type of situation because if you start blitzing people, you're going to leave some spots open, and Fouts is experienced enough, one of the great quarterbacks in the NFL, to pick up the spots. So the Dolphins have inserted Vern Denherter now. Betters comes out, 2nd down and 5, San Diego, and time is in. At the Dolphins 35, the Dolphins have a 7-point lead. 2 minutes to go. Winslow and Chandler split off the near side. From the 35-yard line, Fouts to drop. No pressure. Ball is tipped at the line of scrimmage, however, by Kim Bokamper. Bokamper had the hand up, got a hand on the ball, and knocked it down.
I can't tell you what a big play that was by Bokamper because the intended receiver was Winslow, and there was no one within 15 yards of him.
I wonder why that was.
Well, what happened was Kozlowski was supposed to have the coverage on him. Kozlowski came to the inside to help out with the wide receiver. They didn't get the jam on Winslow coming off the line of scrimmage, and so he was all alone.
3rd down and 5, and he could conceivably have scored from the 35-yard line now. 3rd and 5. Brooks and Capoletti are the backs. Chandler to the near side. Scales in motion back to the near side of the field. The Dolphins 35. Fouts has time. Here's the pass. Caught inside the 30 by Winslow. He's knocked out at the 28. 1st down. Whenever they've needed the big play, they've gone to the big guy. Kozlowski and Glenn Blackwood made the tackle, but too late. 1st down, San Diego at the Dolphins 28. 1 minute, 38 seconds to play in this regulation time. Now, we get into overtime. If that dire event should happen, each side would get 3 timeouts, and of course you play until a winner is decided in postseason play. Winslow has caught 11 passes for 131 yards and a touchdown. 1st down at the Dolphins 28-yard line. Capoletti is split off to the near side along with Chandler. Here's the snap. Fouts, deep drop this time. He fires. It is caught by Chandler, and he holds onto the ball, and he's pumped to the ground at the 8-yard line. Wes Chandler with a great leaping reception right in front of the rookie cornerback, Fulton Walker. They mark it back at the 9. 20 yards on the completion. So San Diego, as the trainer comes out, San Diego will use a timeout to stop the clock with 1 minute 7 seconds to play. And 1st and goal at the Dolphins 9-yard line. Miami's led only once, but that's teetering. 38-31, 1 minute 7 seconds to play. 2 timeouts left for San Diego. Chandler spreads to the far side. Small's got the coverage on him. Joyner to the near side. Brooks the only back in behind Fouts. Joyner in motion back to the far side of the field. Fouts will drop the throw. No pressure. He pumps once. Now he pumps twice. Throws the ball. It is caught for a touchdown by Brooks. Dolphins couldn't get any pressure on him even when he ran him out of the pocket. A.J. Dewey was really hamstrung. They just came in with their hands raised, but he had all kinds of receivers, 2 wide open in the corner of the end zone, so they come within a point of tying it up. James Brooks, his 2nd touchdown pass of the ball game, swinging to the near corner of the end zone, and Fouts now brings him back 38-37, 58 seconds on the board.
Bernurska's missed 6 extra points this year. I thought I'd throw that in.
Yeah, but 3 of them have been on bad snaps, and 1 on 2 on missed attempts. Luther will hold. Bernurska can tie it up with 58 seconds to go. San Diego has 2 timeouts remaining in regulation play. Here is the snap. Set down. Kick is up. He's got it. 38-38. So it's tied up. The Dolphins need a big play from special teams, which have not been really up to par tonight, to get the ball into field position. Strock needs to move it, at least to get into Von Schaman field goal range. The Dolphins have the wind of their back for this 4th quarter. Fouts to Brooks, 9 yards on the TD. Took him 3 minutes, 41 seconds. 82 yards and 10 plays. The big catch by Chandler. And, of course, it was set up by Andre Franklin, fumbling the football at the 18-yard line of San Diego, and Pete Shaw recovering. Figueredo, who's been known to run, is deep in the middle. Eddie Hill down the near side, Besselou to the far side. Let's see if they try to kick it away from him.
I was just watching Von Schaman was doing about 2 minutes worth of stretching exercises down the field, so he knows what he has to do.
58 seconds, still plenty of time. The Dolphins need a good run back out of this, though. Let's see if Bernurska puts it up high in the air. Well, he wobbles it to the far side. Besselou's going to let it roll out of bounds. It'll be a 5-yard penalty. They'll have to kick off again. Now, inside the last 2 minutes of each half, the clock does not start until a player touches the football. So no time elapsed from the clock, still 58 seconds.
Now, Bernershka has been kicking the ball in these high, short kicks. And Miami, if he continues to do this as San Diego's penalized, could come out of this with pretty good field position.
Ball is going to be marked off the 5-yard penalty, back at the 30-yard line. And the illegal procedure call, they'll have to kick it again. He's kicking into the wind now. Be aware of that. 58 seconds. The clock will not start until the ball is touched by a Dolphin player.
Look at how far up Vigorito is, Rick.
And Vigorito, realizing that the wind is to his back, a blocking wedge sets itself. Good run back here would really help things. Score tied at 38. It's been nip and tuck. Dolphins came all the way back with a 24-point deficit in the first quarter to tie it and move ahead. Here's Bernishka's kickoff. Low squibber, rolls to the near side. Hill comes up with a 28, 30. Into the middle, 35. He gets to the 40-yard line. So the Dolphins come out with good field position. 52 seconds as the clock is stopped. 12-yard return. A low squibber. Ray Preston, the linebacker, made the tackle on Eddie Hill. The Dolphins 60 yards away with 52 seconds and all their timeouts left.
Of course, they actually only have to get to about the 25-yard line to be in position for Uva to come out and win it. So they're in pretty good shape. They can certainly get down there with all their timeouts remaining.
And they want to have that wind to their back. Uriel Harris will be in one wide receiver to the near side. Cepolo and Rose go to the far side. We've got Vigorito and Nathan in the offensive backfield. First down Miami from their 40-yard line. Strock will put it up. He has time. He throws. It is almost intercepted. He way overthrew Joe Rose down at the 45. And having a shot at it was the free safety Glenn Edwards. He couldn't get to it either. Strock had all kinds of time and was way off target. Second down. The clock is stopped with 46 seconds.
Hey, it's the first bad pass he's thrown this afternoon.
Yeah, that's right. Second down and 10, 46 seconds to go. The Dolphins have a chance to try and move the football and get it at least into field goal range. All their timeouts left. And San Diego realizing they have to go to the air. Cepolo, Rose to the far side. Harris to the near side. Vigorito and Nathan in the backfield from the Dolphins' 40-yard line. Strock backs up the throw. Pumps once, across the middle. It is intercepted and dropped. Loose ball, fumble, recovered by the Dolphins at the 48-yard line. All depends on what they call it. They call it an intercepted pass and a dropped football, a fumble by the man who intercepted it. Willie Buchanan had his hands on it. They really intercepted the ball and then fumbled it, and the Dolphins, Tommy Vigorito, alertly pounced on it. So the Dolphins come out of that with a first down at the San Diego 49-yard line. Henry?
That one deserves Hail Marys.
He fumbled the ball as he went to the ground, and Vigorito pounced on it for a Miami first down at the San Diego 49.
Two errant passes in a row by Strock. Now, the Dolphins are 18 yards away from Von Schauman's range. That would put them in position for a 47-yard attempt.
And 34 seconds show on the board. Nobody has been charged with a timeout according to the scoreboard. We have not received official signification as to who the timeout was charged against. Would have to be charged out to Miami. I can't figure out why San Diego would be calling a timeout. Henry, could you check that on the sidelines for us?
Yeah.
Could that have something to do with the exchange of possession there?
Change of possession could be an official's timeout. Could not be charged to anybody. And I think that's probably what it is. Just want to keep track of the timeouts. Dolphins have a first down at they mark it ahead to the 48-yard line, 18 yards away. I guess it was the change of possession timeout charged the officials. Dolphins still have all three of theirs left. 34 seconds to go on the change of possession. All right, Rose more to the far side. Harris to the near side. Vigorito and Nathan to the back. First down from the Chargers' 48-yard line. Strock drops the throw. He fires across the middle. Great catch by Nathan down to the 32-yard line. Nathan gets it down to the 32-yard line before he's tackled by the free safety Glenn Edwards. A pickup of 17. They mark it ahead of the 31. So that's another first down. Strock under great pressure from the defensive left end, Leroy Jones. Now the Dolphins call a timeout. So they have two left with 23 seconds on the board. If he had to kick one now, it would be a 48-yard attempt with the wind to his back. His longest of the season, 46.
Well, I think I might try a little bit of a draw play here, and I'll tell you why, Rick. Because San Diego's got to respect the pass. I think they're going to have their defense open up a little bit. If the inside's open, if you can roll up for 7 or 8 yards, then they're in great shape in the middle of the field.
That's exactly right. But everybody in the ballpark is remembering the Dallas Cowboys game, where the Dolphins were trying to move the football into a little bit closer range for Von Schamann. Of course, he's going to tell me that he could have made a longer field goal. But I agree with the philosophy. It's just the execution.
Well, the draw is, you can't hurt him too badly. It's when you throw the ball down here, there's where you take the big risk.
All right. Ball at the 31-yard line. Henry.
They got to be thinking they were down here a while ago, and on a simple handoff to the fullback, they lost the football.
38, 23 seconds to play. First down. Dolphins have 1 timeout left. That previous timeout was charged to the officials because of the change of possession following Buchanan's fumble and Vigorito's recovery. So the Dolphins have 1 left. Chargers have 2 left. 23 seconds on the board. First down at the Chargers 31. Rose, Moore, Harris, Fred. Vigorito and Nathan are the backs behind Strock. Strock having time to throw. Will hand off. Vigorito into the middle. He gets down to about the 26, maybe the 25-yard line. Good wedge blocking and followed Mark Dennard to center that time to the 25. Tackle as the clock is down to 10 seconds and moving. Right in front of the goal post at the 25. They're going to let it run all the way down. Call a timeout, and finally the Dolphins call a timeout with 4 seconds to play. Von Schamann will be trying a 42-yard field goal attempt. And if he hits it, will win the ball game. If he does not make it, he will have it overtime. The Dolphins let it run down, used all of their timeouts. Great victory for Miami. It'll be a tough loss for San Diego, or vice versa. This one is not over with yet. Von Schamann has an earlier 35-yard field goal.
And on that play, Vigorito ran this simple off-tackle trap play, Rick. Again, a high percentage play. They got the 5 or 6 yards out of it. He also angled for the middle of the field, so Von Schamann will have a straight-ahead kick.
38-38 the score. Uba from 40 and out is 4 for 10. He has not been that accurate from beyond the 40-yard line.
Uba's a good streets man, Rick. He's going to make this.
All right, the Strock, of course, will hold. The line of scrimmage will be the 25. If he hits it, the Dolphins win. Move into the AFC Championship game. If he misses it, they'll go into overtime. Strock will hold for 33. It'll be a 43-yard attempt. He gives himself an extra yard. The wind is to his back. If he hits it, it's all over. Kuchenberg will be the snapper. Big play of the game. Waiting the snap is Strock. High snap. Von Schamann hits it. We've got an overtime game.
It was the snap, Rick.
It was the snap. Kuchenberg snapped the ball high. So we go into overtime. And Strock, by the time he brought it down, he completely threw off Von Schamann's timing. And so we go into overtime. All right, we're going to take a 2-minute timeout here as the score is tied at 38. Von Schamann never had a chance to hit it. As Kuchenberg's snap was high, Strock had all he could do to bring the ball down. And Von Schamann's timing was way off. It was a bad snap. The score at the end of regulation, San Diego 38, the Dolphins 38. We'll be back in 2 minutes. This is the Miami Dolphins Football Network. Rick Weaver, Hank Goldberg, Henry Barrow, back at the Orange Bowl of Miami. We go into the Dolphins' 3rd overtime game of the season. They tied 1. They won 1. San Diego has played in 1 overtime game this year, and they lost that to the Chicago Bears 20-17.
Rick, on that play, I think Buchanan might have gotten a hand on it. What happened was the snap was high. Strock got it down okay, but the time that elapsed between Strock getting that ball into position and gave that chance to Buchanan.
Dolphins lost the toss, so San Diego will get the first chance to win the ball game.
Dolphins certainly have lost some heartbreakers to this club here in the Orange Bowl. Last year's overtime loss, and then I remember James Harris when they ran it in on that 14-13 game a few years back.
Here's Von Schamann's kickoff. He hits it high. It will not be too deep. Brooks will drift back. He'll grab it at the 3-yard line. Cuts for the middle of the 10. He gets to the 15. He is hit and speared all the way back at the 11-yard line. He never got out to the 15. They're going to call him down at the 13-yard line. Tackle on the play by Steve Shaw. He returned that ball only about 10 yards. So Fouts will start from his 13-yard line. Dolphins have been able to get to him only 1 time tonight. And we'll check his offensive backfield. He's got double tight ends in there, Severs and Winslow. Winslow has been the big man.
Well, Winslow probably won't line up as a tight end. Severs is the pure blocking tight end.
Chandler to the far side, near side. Joyner to the far side. Muncie the only back. And behind Fouts. San Diego from the 13. Winslow in motion to the far sideline area. Fouts wants to go to Winslow. Throws it wild. Set it for Muncie. Muncie was the safety valve. And he threw it way over his head to the far side of the field. Incomplete, second down.
That time they got to Winslow as he came off the line of scrimmage. He had gone in motion, as you said, Rick, to the far side of the field. They knocked him a little bit off his feet, and therefore the timing of the play was upset.
We have played about 16 seconds into this first overtime period. And set up the Changi defense. Winslow and Joyner wide to the far side. Chandler comes to the near side. Muncie the only back in behind Fouts. 2nd and 10, San Diego from their 13-yard line. Here's Fouts back to throw. Dewey is after him, gets a block. Here's the pass. He's got a man open over there at the 20. It's Winslow, and they let him loose, and he gets out of bounds. Let's see where they're going to mark it. All the way up to the 28-yard line. They laid off of Winslow. I don't understand this pass concept. The biggest, most prolific pass receiver on the field, and they leave him wide open. They left him wide open a time before, and luckily Bocamper tipped the ball at the line of scrimmage. Dewey coming in, almost had a sack, but he was blocked at the last minute. 15 yards on the completion. Kozlowski finally drove him out of bounds. The ball up at the San Diego 28, first down. You know he's going to go to Winslow. Winslow comes to the near side. Joyner and Chandler split to the far side. First down for 28. Fouts will hand off to Muncie. Outside of the right he comes. He's at the 30 and run out of bounds at the 33-yard line. 33 is where they're going to mark it. A 5-yard pickup. As Glenn Blackwood, the strong safety, runs him out. Fouts is getting excellent protection. Dolphins have been able to get to him only once. 2nd down and 5. Chargers from their 30. Well, let's call it 2nd and 6 from their 32. In overtime, 38 to 38. The winner goes to the AFC Championship. Fouts back to throw. Flag is down. Here's the pass. Incomplete. Flag down on the far side.
Had real good pressure that time, particularly from Betters. Betters looped around the left, looped around Baumhauer, started coming up the middle, and I think somebody was holding.
Flag was thrown on the far side of the field. Let's get the call. Here's referee Fred Wyatt. False start. False start against San Diego. And that may have been called on Fouts. They would have set the ball back from the 32-yard line to the 27.
Rick Winslow's hurt coming off the field.
So it brings up the 2nd down and 11. San Diego back at their 27-yard line. Fouts back to throw. He pops it. It is open in the middle at the 40, 42-yard line. Another first down. Charlie Joyner. Just a slant into the middle, and Fouts found him wide open for 15 yards. Tackle made by Kozlowski. Dolphins prevent defense is not preventing at the present time. Capoletti comes in and Scales goes out. Larry Gordon comes back in. First down, San Diego at their 42. They move closer and closer. 13:53 left to play in the first overtime. Dolphins have to get this football back. Here's Chandler wide to the far side. To the near side is Joyner. Capoletti and Muncie out of running backs. San Diego 42-yard line. Joyner in motion back to the far side of the field. Fouts will give off to Muncie. Muncie in the middle, finds a hole. He's down to the 50. Still digging and driving. Gets down to the Dolphin 45-yard line. He was just running over green shirts. Finally, Fulton Walker got up off the bottom of the pile. He had good wedge blocking, 13 yards. So San Diego really in the catbird seat now at the Dolphins 45-yard line. First down.
Capoletti really helped out on the blocking there, too. So he was running virtually parallel with Muncie and knocking people over.
Joyner spreads to the far side, Chandler to the near side. Dolphin defense needs a big play. Muncie and Capoletti, the running backs, behind Fouts. First down for the Dolphins 46-yard line is where they mark it. Fouts will drop the throw. He fires it across the middle. It is tipped away. Headed for Severs, the rookie tight end at the 40. And Dolphins defense overran the ball. Kozlowski had a chance to come back and get it, and he and Blackwood mainly dove for the football, couldn't get a hand on it.
Dolphins getting closer and closer to Fouts. That time Gordon was blitzing from the far side, almost got in on him and caused Fouts to throw the ball just a little bit high.
James Brooks has come in. Kellen Winslow has come back in. 2nd down and 10. San Diego at the Dolphins 46. We're in the first overtime, tied at 38. Dolphins had a couple of chances to put it away. Blew them both. Fouts, Brooks the only back in behind him. Then Joyner in motion back to the far side of the field. Fouts will drop the throw. Bocamper tracks in. Up at the 45 in San Diego territory. Bocamper coming from the right side. That pushes him back, and Fouts isn't getting up very quick. So that's a loss on the play. For about 10 yards, Bocamper with his second sack of the ball game. And that's going to bring up a third down. And about 20 yards to go for a first down. In order to keep this drive alive, they have to get back to the Dolphins' 35.5-yard line. McNeil comes in as the extra back. Gordon goes out. The big play of overtime for San Diego. They split Chandler to the far side. Joyner to the near side. You got Scales and Winslow in there. Here's Fouts back to throw. He has time. He fires at Winslow. 50, 45, 40. He's down to the 36-yard line. Close to a first down. I don't believe this. They are giving him so much room over there. Raslowski made the tackle, and it is a first down. They had a third down and 20. They leave Winslow open. They cannot make a tackle on him. The prevent defense cannot prevent. Denherter comes in. 21 yards on the pickup. First down at the Dolphins' 34-yard line. So now they're really moving in close to Bernishka's range. He will be kicking into the wind. That was a big play, and the Dolphins were not up to it. Defense, prevent in there, as Fouts now will call a timeout to go over and talk it over on the sidelines. We're going to take a timeout here for this commercial message. This is the Miami Dolphins Football Network. They've got him stretched out on the bench. Looks like he's armed. All right, Fouts has the football at the Dolphins' 34-yard line. A first down. Winslow came up with a big play, however. 21-yard reception, running over Dolphin defenders, and they needed 3rd and 20. They got it. Joyner will spread to the far side, Chandler to the near side. Maybe just a couple more plays before they move into Bernishka's range. Severs, the tight end, gets up, comes in motion to the near side. Here's a handoff to Muncie. Sweep outside to the near side. He's at the 30, the 25, and he's not knocked down until he gets to the 23-yard line. So they're definitely within range now. Fulton Walker made the tackle. 11-yard pickup. That's good for another first down. San Diego got the flip of the coin. Have moved the football. Great comeback for the Dolphins, but they are in danger of seeing the whole season slip away right here. First down at the 23. The 23, here's Brooks. Over the right side, down to the 20, down to the 15, down to the 10, still going, and down to the 9-yard line. They're really in position now. He bounced off 4 different tacklers before he was brought down. Denherter finally got him. First-round draft choice out of Auburn. They mark it at 9. Let's see if they'll go for the field goal here. 14 yards for Brooks. Dolphin defense, which has played extremely well during the ball game. This cannot stop San Diego here.
This is a curious turn of events right here. And if San Diego is not going to try a field goal and just end it.
Chandler goes to the far side. There's always a chance of coughing it up. Here's Joyner on the near side. Capoletti. Muncie at the backs from the 9-yard line. First and goal. Hand off to Muncie. Muncie goes inside over the left side. Gets to the 7. They try to work it right out in front of the goalpost.
That's what they did.
And this is now the field goal unit comes on. And the Dolphins season can end right here. Luther will come into hole. Bernishka, who beat the Dolphins last year with a field goal, can end it right here. Luther will hold from the 15. The only disadvantage, he's kicking into the wind out of the east. Locker room show to follow. And if he makes it, that'll be a graveyard. This will be tried from the 17-yard line by Rolf Bernishka. 27-yard attempt. Luther awaits the snap. Set down. Kick is up. He's got the distance on it. No good. He missed it to the left side. Holy Toledo, he hooked it. He missed a 27-yard field goal, reminiscent of what happened to John Stenerud at Kansas City 10 years ago.
Rick, I just looked over to my left. Alia Premian's in the next booth. I started thinking about that. 2 missed field goals in this ball game on Shamans, and now this one, and Miami's got it second right.
This game has been replete with so much unbelievable happenings. It's just another one. Bernishka chip shot 27 yards away, and he hooked it to the left side. Henry.
You wouldn't believe the reaction down here on the bench. The Dolphin players, many of them had started with tears in their eyes walking toward the locker room. And when that ball went astray, Jim Jensen, the first one, just grabbed his head and his knees buckled.
Harris, far side. Moore, near side. Hill and Nathan are the backs behind Strock, the Dolphins' 20-yard line. Moving from our right to our left. Strock Back to throw. He fires it. It is... Did he catch it, or... They're going to rule incomplete. One official asking for help from the other one. Harris arguing violently with the official on the far side of the field. The ball was thrown a little bit low. They ruled that Duriel trapped the ball at the 35-yard line. Buchanan had the coverage. He was not a factor.
Well, Hardy came open that time. He just, again, something he's been running all afternoon, just did a little bit of a blocking job and then slid off the defender and broke to the outside.
The Dolphins have got to move it here. Second down and 10 from their 20-yard line after Branischka misses a 27-yard field goal. A cat has 9 lives. The Dolphins had 2 chances in regulation to put it away. They're getting a 3rd chance here if they can capitalize on it. But they have to keep control of the ball. Strock will throw it again. Sets up. He's firing deep. He's got Harris upfield. He can't get to it. Down at the 40-yard line. So it brings up a 3rd down. Coverage back there from Buchanan. 3rd down for the Dolphins from their 20-yard line and 10 yards to go. I think they ought to be a little bit more patient here and try to grind it out. There's plenty of time. I mean, you could go 10 minutes and 1 second left to go in the overtime period. Nishka, after a good drive by Denny Faust in some 5 minutes, misses a 27-yard field goal. All right, big play for the Dolphins. 3rd down and 10 from their 20-yard line. They split Harris to the far side. They got Hardy, Cepolo to the near side of the field. Vigorito and Nathan are the backs. Brock drops back to throw. He's firing deep up the middle, and nobody within yards of the ball. I don't know. What a time to break down on offense. Nobody within yards of the ball. So the Dolphins come up empty. They get a chance to move it, and they come up empty. Either a busted pattern. Hardy was the nearest man of the ball, but he was 10 yards away. Deep up the middle, that's where Strock threw it. So Orris will kick from the 5-yard line. San Diego will get another chance. They should come out of this with good field position. Brooks is deep. Chandler already has returned one. 56 yards for a touchdown as the shallow man. So San Diego will get a second chance. Here's the snap. Orris hits it. Hangs it high. Good punt. Brooks calls for a fair catch. Makes it at the San Diego 37-yard line. Good field position. Good punt by Tom Orris. 43 yards. And San Diego will get another shot at it. Branischka misses a 27-yard field goal. The Dolphin defense is going to have to start getting some pressure on Fouts. Lowcamper did, but that was a big sack.
One thing about that Kansas City overtime game, when you spoke to players afterwards, their immediate reaction was exhaustion. Now, the Dolphins defense has been out on the field for 76 plays.
Joyner. Chandler wide to the far side. Winslow set in tight this time. Here comes Chandler in motion back to the near side. Capoletti and Muncy. The backs pitch back to Muncy. Sweep to the near side. He's at the 40. They run out of bounds at about the 45-yard line. 8-yard pickup. Dolphins have not been able to stop that sweep since early in the ball game. So that's a big 8 yards. They want to give Branischka a second chance. Second down coming up in 2. And the Dolphins have moved and moved and moved. Caught up. Taking the lead, failed to hold it. Second down and 2, San Diego. We've got 8 minutes, 40 seconds to go in this first overtime period. Ball at the San Diego 45. Baxton and I, Chandler in motion back to the far side. Here's Fouts, pitch to Muncy. Muncy is hit and is fumbles the ball. Dolphins have got it at the San Diego 45-yard line. Doug Feathers, I believe, came up with it. Muncy was hit, and the ball popped out of there. Doug Feathers may have recovered a fumble. Dolphins defense gets a break, forces a turnover, and they have the ball at the San Diego 46-yard line. Muncy was trying to run to his left. He got a block from Capoletti, but he was hit by Dewey. The ball popped out of there, and it looked like Feathers came up with a fumble recovery. They mark it instead of the 46 at the 47. So Strock needs to move it now with 8:32 to go in the overtime. The Dolphins got a break. Let's see if the offense can capitalize on it. Moore to the near side. Harris to the far side. Andra Franklin, who fumbled it away at the 18-yard line. And Nathan are the backs. First down. Strock hands to Nathan. Sweep outside of the left. He does not get the corner turn. He gets only the 45-yard line. before he's knocked down. Second down at 8. Tackle made by the strong safety Pete Shaw.
We got confirmation from the press box, Rick, that Betters did in fact recover it.
Betters recovered a fumble. He almost recovered an early one. He shoved it to Baumhauer instead. Dolphins need to move this football. They need some movement out of this offense.
Well, they need to throw the percentage pass, which is something they did not do on their last possession.
Second possession for the Dolphins. San Diego had 2. Bernishka missed a 27-yard field goal. 2nd and 8 from the Chargers' 45-yard line. Receivers are spread, so are the backs. Hill is in the ballgame now, replacing Franklin. Strock drops the back to throw. He fires it out. Hardy's got it. They rule it incomplete. Again, Strock throws the ball low at the 36-yard line. Suddenly, he has gone cold. Pete Shaw had the coverage, but the ball was thrown, and short hopping it was Bruce Hardy.
And Hardy was open. He had made his move to the outside, had beaten the man to the outside, and the ball was one hop. That's the second time that Strock has thrown a ball in a bounce to an open receiver.
Ball at the San Diego 45 following Muncie's fumble and Betters' recovery. Dewey stripped the ball. 3rd down and 8 from the 45-yard line.
The rhythm has gone out of Miami's passing game. Before, they were hitting all these precision passes, and suddenly it's vanished.
Moore spreads to far side. Harris to the near side. That shows me a sign of fatigue. Negrito's flat man near side. Nathan the only back in behind Strock. Big 3rd down play from the 45. Strock, quick drop. Fires it across the middle again. Throws it low into the ground. Henry?
David Woodley is warming up.
I don't believe this. All right, 4th down, and Orris will come in to punt. They cannot move the football. Strock has run out of steam.
Jimmy Webb really leveled him on that play, too. But you're absolutely right, Rick. He just suddenly can't get the ball to his receiver.
Throwing the ball low. Just like a pitcher, becoming too cautious in the late innings. So Orris will try to nail it out of bounds. He's got the wind to his back for another 7 minutes, 37 seconds. Stand at the Dolphins' 40-yard line. Here's the snap. He hangs it for the near sideline area. It is into the end zone. So San Diego will get another shot at it, start from the 20-yard line. The Dolphins' offense has gone cold at the wrong time of the ball game. Strock throwing everything into the ground. And as Henry just remarked, David Woodley is warming up. You can't do that in baseball. Bring a reliever in off the starter to relieve the guy who relieved you. So let's see if the Dolphins defense can get it back. They got the football back, and the offense couldn't move it, even within range for a 1st down.
Opportunity has just been knocking and knocking, and the Dolphins won't open the door.
Defense has got to get it back again. Double tight ends in there. Winslow along with Joyner spread to the far side. Sievers sets in tight. They split Chandler to the near side. From the 20-yard line is Fouts. He drops the throw, has time, swings it to Brooks. He drops the ball. The 16-yard line. Brooks out of the backfield, couldn't hold on to it.
And McNeil is in the ball game now at the left corner. And Fulton Walker's playing the right corner in the Dolphins' defensive alignment. Small's on the bench.
The reason for that, Henry, is Small hurt.
Yeah, they're working on Small's left knee. He started to go in, and the knee gave him trouble, so he came over. Fulton is hurt, too. He's got a hip pointer.
2nd down for the Chargers from their 20-yard line, 38-38. First overtime, 7:24 to go. Locker room show to follow. Henry and Hank, the Dolphins locker room. Larry Bluestein across the way. Receivers are spread. Fouts back to throw. He's in the pocket. He fires the ball. It is dropped by Sievers, the rookie tight end at the 28-yard line. Fulton Walker may have got a hand on it to knock it away. Sievers, a 4th-round draft choice out of Maryland. 3rd down.
Walker and Kozlowski both covering Sievers there, and there's quite a drop-off when you go from Kellen Winslow to Sievers, although Winslow is in the ball game.
Henry?
There are a lot of players that are very tired out there, and there's a lot of salt being poured down players on both sides of the field. Wind has really picked up.
Dolphins have the win advantage for another 7-18. 3rd down. Now, Fox has been able to convert a couple of key 3rd downs in this overtime. He's 9 for 15 in that department. From the 20-yard line, 3rd and 10, San Diego. Brooks, Winslow, Joyner, Scales, and Chandler are the receivers in the ballgame. Winslow in motion, back to the near side. He wants to go to Winslow. Fouts is in trouble. He backs out of it. He's back at the 10. He fires. He breaks away from another man. He's at the 15. Somebody better get him at the 20. 25 to the 30, and he gets out to the 28-yard line. That is short of a 1st down. Fouts scrambling all over the place. Dolphins had 3 opportunities to sack him back there. Betters had a shot at him. Dewey had a shot at him. And Bocamper had a shot at him. Looked to me like he might get to the 30-yard line, but they nail him at the 28. So out of the scramble, it brings up a 4th down, and they'll have to punt.
One place where there's some fresh bodies, special teams. You think they'll be coming at Roberts?
Figueredo deep in the middle. Kozlowski out to the far side. Eddie Hill down the near side. Roberts kicking into the wind will stand back at the 12-yard line. George Roberts, the former Dolphin. Here's the snap. Gets no rush. Wobbles a short one out of there. Figueredo on the fly. Grabs it at the 43. Cuts outside near side. 45. 50 down out of bounds at the 46-yard line. He is really nailed into the Dolphins bench. Henry?
One who was really nailed into the bench is George Roberts, who was over there on the tackle. He got the bench right in his back and shook him up a little bit.
Roberts, only a 30-yard punt and an 11-yard return. The Dolphins have excellent field position again at the 46-yard line of the San Diego Chargers. The tackle made by Eric Sievers on tight end. Now let's see if they can move the football. 6:15 to go in regulation. In overtime. 38-38. They've had it twice, have not been able to move the ball. Cepolo, Strack, obviously getting tired. Cepolo to the far side, Harris near side. Franklin is in there, he and Nathan are the split backs from the Charger 46. Strack, quick drop. Looks. He fires. Cepolo down to the 25-yard line. Jimmy Cepolo at the 25. Strack was looking all over the place. Cepolo finally broke free. Into the middle of the field, 21 yards. Buchanan made the tackle. First down at the Chargers 25-yard line. So Strack stayed on his feet. Looked right, looked left, looked back to the right again, and out of the corner of his eye, he spotted Cepolo breaking free in the middle and hit him.
And the Dolphins offensive line giving him that kind of time. Cepolo never broke his pattern, just cut it across the middle.
Cepolo far side, Harris near side. Backs and an eye. Franklin and Nathan from the 25. Let's see what they come up with now. Strack will hand off to Nathan. He goes into the middle of the line, gets down to the 20-yard line. Maybe they're going to call it at the 20. 5-yard pickup. Big Hands Johnson on the tackle. Von Sherman missed the 43-yard field goal. That could have won the ball game because of a bad snap. Gutenberg wants another opportunity, I would imagine. The ball at the 20, 2nd down and 5. They've got plenty of time, and the wind to their back. 5 minutes to go. They have all their timeouts left during this overtime. Ball at the 20. They got down here close a while ago, and Franklin fumbled it away. All right, Strack brings them out. Cepolo far side. Near side is Harris. Strack awaits the snap. Hands off to Nathan. Nathan into the middle. They try to strip him of the ball, but they don't do it. He gets to the 17-yard line. Maybe the 16. It'll be about a yard to go. Long yard for a first down. 3rd down coming up. Louis Kelcher made the tackle. They'll probably run one more play. If they don't make the first down, Von Schaman will get another hack at it. Henry?
Looking at Uwe Von Schaman standing on the field, just staring out at the field, and he uses that self-hypnosis, and I'm sure he's using every ounce he can get right now.
Ball at the Chargers' 16-yard line, 3rd down and a long yard. They put in 3 tight ends. Franklin and Nathan are the split backs, perhaps one play away from the field goal. Strack gives to Franklin. He is knocked down and holds onto the ball. Lost the yard at the 17-yard line. So here comes Uwe. Kelcher made the tackle. Von Schaman with a 2nd attempt to win the ball game. Could have won it the tail end of the regulation play. This time, let's see, they're going to mark it 17. They set it down approximately the 24. It'll be a 34-yard attempt. And he has been deadly from this range. They might even give it he might even want to take another yard back to the 25, which would make it a 35-yard attempt. The wind to his back. And Kuchenberg will be the snapper.
San Diego, I think, took a timeout, Rick. They want to give Uwe a chance to think about that. New England called a timeout on Uwe in a similar situation, the overtime game up there, and didn't bother him.
I think the fans have gotten their money's worth. Henry?
Bob Kuchenberg has got to be exhausted. He hadn't played in 2 months, and to go into an overtime, that's going to be the important thing to watch, is that Kuchenberg snap.
Strack will hold. Von Schaman can win it here with 3:42 to go in the first overtime. Here it is. Set down. Kick is blocked. Again, not a very good snap. Ball is overrun by San Diego, and they will come up with it 16-yard line, so the Donnybrook goes on.
Rick, I think that time Uwe just kicked it into the middle of the line.
And there's a San Diego man laid out on the field. He just kicked it into the middle of the line is right. was nothing wrong with the snap. San Diego man down, and it might be, let me put the glasses on. Down on the field, it might be Kellen Winslow. I don't know whether he plays on special teams or not. But it looks, well, we'll have to wait and see. We don't have the angle on him. So San Diego will take over. The Dolphins have blown now 3 opportunities to win this game.
Well, kickers get paid to do one thing.
It was Winslow who was shaken up on the play. And the Dolphins defense will be asked to do it again. I don't know how many times they can keep doing this. The Dolphins have had 3 opportunities to win it, 2 in regulation. Franklin fumbled the ball away. Von Schaman on a high snap. Missed the field goal. This time he just plain kicked the ball into the middle of the line. Kuchenberg got the ball right into Strock's hands. Don pulled it down. Von Schaman did not get the ball up in the air. So San Diego will be given another opportunity at their 16-yard line. And the Dolphin defense will be called upon to try and take the ball away again. Jones, Leroy Jones, the biggest man on the San Diego team, who plays in the middle on special teams, blocked the attempted field goal, but I think a midget could have blocked that one. That's how low it was kicked. All right, Fouts will try to get some momentum going with his football team. We have 3:33 left to go in this overtime. Score tied at 38-38. Dolphins were down 24-0 at the end of the first quarter. And there is a timeout on the field, which is still timeout, taken by the officials to get Winslow off. San Diego will have Eric Sievers, a rookie from Maryland, in at the tight end spot. Capoletti and James Brooks will be the running back. Spouts the quarterback. Chandler and Joyner do the wide receivers. McNeil and Walker continue at the corners. Walker playing the right side corner. Backs the splits over the receiver. San Diego from their 16-yard line. Bounce back to throw. He has time. He swings it out to Brooks at the 15. Cuts it back into the middle. Gets out to the 23-yard line. So they pick up about 7.
I'm just wondering if they're going to start working on McNeil. McNeil, playing with that broken arm, really hasn't played that much today except in nickel situations.
Bo Camper is the only man who's been able to get the Fouts twice tonight. 2nd down and 3. San Diego from their 23-yard line. There is Winslow back in there. There's the pass to the far sideline. Chandler's got it out of bounds at the 31. First down for San Diego. Curl pattern. No way they could stop it. Fulton Walker, the cornerback, had a coverage on the play. Dolphins have blown 3 opportunities to win the ballgame. San Diego has blown 1. And that was a missed field goal by Bernishka. First down, San Diego at their 31-yard line. 2 minutes, 45 seconds to go in the overtime. Score tied at 38. All right. Joyner spreads to the far side. To the near side is Chandler, and Winslow is back in there. Brooks the only back in behind Fouts. Fouts drops back to throw. He has time. He fires the ball. It is almost intercepted by Lyle Blackwood. He was going for Sievers, and just as he got the pass away, he was really popped by Barnett. And Blackwood, who has already picked one off, missed a golden opportunity that time.
Doesn't seem possible, Rick, but 3.5 hours ago, Miami was behind 24-0.
2nd down and 10 for San Diego from their 31-yard line. Dolphins have got to get pressure on Fouts. Winslow is taken out. He has been playing really hurt. He is taking his lumps tonight. Joyner spreads far side. Chandler to the near side. Brooks and Capoletti in the back. 2nd and 10 from the 31. Fouts back to throw. All the time in the world. Fires it in the middle. Chandler makes the catch. He's got it at the 50-yard line. Takes a good hit by Blackwood, but holds onto the ball. He's not going to get up, however. And there will be a timeout for Chandler's injury. Blackwood knocked him cold at the 50-yard line, but he held onto the ball. 19-yard completion to Wes Chandler, who has really been a thorn in the Dolphins' side tonight. And as soon as they get him on his feet, they'll have a first down at the 50.
I don't know how he did hold on to that one, Rick, because he was really popped back there by Blackwood. That's about as hard as you can inflict on another player.
First down, San Diego for the field strike. Brooks and Capoletti are the back. Joyner in motion back to line. Fouts, pump once, takes another look. Has all day, throws deep in the middle. It is caught by Joyner at the 15-yard line. Eludes the tackler, breaking for the sidelines, and he's hauled out at the 10. Al Joyner into double coverage. Fouts found him open. Dolphins had no penetration. Fouts had all night They count the house back there and throw the football 40 yards. Charlie Joyner and Larry Gordon finally made tackles, so they are way within Bernitsch's range. They're going to waste no time this time in getting him in. He missed one earlier, but odds are against him missing two in a row are very remote. The line of scrimmage will be the 10-yard line.
On that play, Joyner never quit running his pattern, and then he got in behind the secondary. Miami secondary just never got beat.
Bernitsch hooked the first one from 27 yards, and this will be from about the same area. He's kicking into that stiff wind with 1:32 to go in the overtime. Dolphins have had the opportunities to win it. They can blame nobody but themselves. Franklin tossed up the ball, the 18-yard line, moving into position for a field goal. Van Schammens had two opportunities to win it, and one bad snap. This will be from the 18-yard line. Luther will hold for Bernitsch. 1:25 to go. If he makes it, it's all over for the Dolphins. Chances of him missing two in a row are very remote. Getting the snap, Luther snaps it down, kick is up. Good! San Diego wins it. 41-38. The Dolphins lose it. They gave it away as they came up with opportunities to win the ball game on their own. They could not do it. The end, however, to a very successful season, but you stop and think on those two missed field goal opportunities, the chance to put it away. Great comeback tonight. They should have won the ball game, but they didn't. And they'll have a chance to think about what happened and what didn't happen as 1982 rolls into sight and training camp opens next year. It's going to be a long winter for some people who had a chance to really perform tonight and could not get the job done when the chips were down. And the Dolphins give Bernitsch a second chance, and he does not miss the second time around. With 1 minute and 8 seconds left to go in the overtime. So San Diego moves on into the AFC Championship game. So the final score, the Chargers, a big win for them.